So before I get into this review of Overlord episode 4 season 2, I just want to point out the manga is ongoing, and I realised this month, technically speaking, there was a chapter, so depending on how far season 2 goes into, I guess, the content that we have in the manga, I may end up reviewing that. So now this episode, boy, so after the conflict of last week's episode with the Lizardmen overcoming, I guess, the first trial, and in this episode we actually get exposition on what's going on with Ainz and Cocytus, as well as the Guardians of Nazarick. So I thought that was kind of cool. We get to see, I guess, the Lizardmen tribe actually partying, because obviously celebrating because of their victory, but they realise there's still more threats to come with the Great One, but they're recouping. And I found it hilarious. Once again, this is a trope of the season, where we have Lulu and I guess Zoriasu in the same tent, passed out. You have Lulu on top of them, obviously. And I thought it was Zoriasu who actually barged in on him like a friend would do in a hotel room on a drunken night. That's how it felt like to me. It was funny. Then we actually get a bit serious. We actually go over to, I guess, the tomb of Nazarick, and we come to find out two things. Number one is Ainz is setting this up, and number two is Cocytus kind of reveals why he failed. I guess he kind of like threatened to punish Cocytus, but later on we come to find out that Ainz was actually kind of glad that Cocytus actually spoke out against Lord Ainz about actually showing them mercy, actually showing the lizard tribe mercy. So this is going to be interesting how things shape itself out. Yeah, and you pretty much had Alberto pretty much getting pissed off by this, because obviously that's not what Ainz wants. Although technically speaking, we come to find out they are aware that this is exactly how Ainz kind of predicted things to turn out. So Cocytus the option to like fight the lizard tribe and actually beat them this time, and actually do whatever means necessary. We actually get Ainz actually given Cocytus the order, and now we've got the conflict set up. We know where this is heading now. Cocytus in 4 hours will take on the lizard tribe, and given what we have, it's going to be Zoriasu and Bro taking them on, and it looks like it could be a potential death here as things were setting up by the end of this episode. Ainz was like, yo, Albedo, Pepper had two groups, one to actually approach the lizard tribe and the other to go elsewhere. And I did not, here's the thing, okay, when I saw the lizard tribe standing face to face, all these eye to eye with Ainz on goal, I'm like, oh boy, is he going to fight themselves? But I'm like, no. In my back of my mind, we know for a fact Cocytus is going to be the one to fight them. And then we see that the whole Guardians of Nazarick, not all of them, but the ones that are on standby, are pretty much observing the lizard tribe. Zoriasu and his brother actually approach Ainz, actually, and yeah, in an instant he just freezes the land and actually traps up the other lizard tribe. Everybody else trying to dig up to higher ground and set them. They actually approach Ainz on goal. He says he wants to talk to these guys, but Albedo's like kind of like saying no, he doesn't want to talk to you like that. So, and then Demiurge is the one that actually forces them down, kind of like some type of conqueror's hockey type of deal. Like he's just forced them down to the knees, and then he's like, "Yeah, lift your heads up." So that's some interesting abilities he's got there. So he's able to either manipulate the gravity or manipulate their bodies. So I'm pretty sure we're going to get exposition, especially since we know in the opening he's fighting off against Ainz. So I don't know what. That's cool. We're getting introduction to his abilities. Like I said before, I hate to say like a broken record, I really want to see what Albedo can do 1v1. Here's the thing, it definitely feels like more than just Cocytus is going to get involved with. It's just how things play itself out, especially since Cocytus was actually fighting to actually spare the lizard tribe because he sees potential in these guys, and he feels like, yo, they could become allies. And Ainz actually thinks this, and he realizes, okay, maybe doing something like this will, and having some type of defeat will make us grow, and we'll in that defeat. So I kind of like Ainz on goal's strategy and all this. He wants to grow, and he wants to get better. They have potential to get stronger, which is frightening to think about when you consider Ainz is pretty much the most OP character in this entire show. There was talk about what happened with Shaltia, about trying to figure out who it was that did that. I think we kind of already know who's responsible for this. I've already said this. I definitely think Sume is going to make a move down the line, especially what she said about having Ainz and Gold's child. Whether or not that's a comedy gag or not, is definitely play some type of role. The foreshadow at the end, though, figures out. I definitely think something's going to happen where Lulu is going to sacrifice herself, because the way she was like saying, "You expect me to watch as you die when we're getting close to one another." I mean, Zarisu pretty much confessed his love for Lulu, which we already knew, but that coming out in the open, and it was a touching moment. And like I said, it's setting up for somebody to sacrifice himself. I personally think it's going to be Lulu. We'll see. Like I said, Cockatoo has been a little bit conflicted with all this because he realizes how much potential these guys have, and he really stated he's just underestimated them. That's why he lost. I honestly think that somebody else is going to get involved just because of the way things have laid itself. Because he gave an order from Lord Ainz, and obviously if you feel Ainz, look how Alberto was pretty much acting in this episode. So I don't know. I definitely like where this is going. We get some exposition of what Ainz's true intentions are. He wants to test the lizard tribe, and actually, hopefully, he can grow because of this. So I kind of like that, but I definitely think there's going to be something deeper that happens. But this is obviously setting up for some major death when it comes to the lizard tribe, and it's sad because I'm actually taking a liking to the lizard tribe, especially Zarisu and Lulu. That's really touching. So I definitely, and maybe if nothing else, the opening we see with all the Guardians, not all of them, the Guardians of Nazarick, walking side by side like a Justice League. I hope that's foreshadow what's to come, maybe with them. I'm going to question now, is Ainz going to like witness the fight between Cockatoos and the Lizard Tribe, and that's going to be it, or is he going to get involved? So I definitely want to see where this goes next. I'm definitely intrigued by where Season 2 is heading. Now the conflict is being set up for even more intensity than before, and it's definitely set up for somebody to be killed this time around. So that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Like this review if you did, appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel for more Overlord Season 2. Obviously, it's going to be a weekly review on the part of me. Catch you guys later. Bye.